Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn and all you mothers out there and wonderful women of the world. Happy Mother's Day. I hope that you had and will continue to have. And I remember my mom being one of course, mother to six children. Bless her heart. We always did something together, and at the time, for most of those years, we were in Sarasota, Florida, and poor mom. She would choose to get the family together and go do a family function, whether it be going fishing, going to the beach. Usually would be going to dinner at the end of it all. And it always ended up that poor mom, something happened, something calamitous would happen. I mean, nothing like, family wrecked a car or anything, but my mom would, stub her knee or, spill her drink in the restaurant. There would be something on mom. And, something that would be not what you would want to happen to your mom on Mother's Day. So, that's not the memory I have when people ask you, what is your fondest memories of your mom on Mother's Day? But it did come to mind. Now, mind you, my mom did pass away 30 years ago. And so memories of her are fresh. Every day, I always think of her. She was really, as many of you know who have listened to me, she is the reason that I have been able to follow a passion that I've had all my life. She is the fuel. She is the spark. She is the continuing eternal flame. And I speak to her as in present tense because she still affects my life every day. And, I've told the story, and for those of you new, which I know there are because 300 new subscribers in the last 2 or 3 months, so many of you haven't, but I remember for my 13th birthday, I wanted, I had just finished the opal cutting lessons. I had already taken the agates, the jaspers, the specialty asterism, and cat's eye stone cutting lessons, all these separate at a custom jewelry store that had an amazing gem cutter that taught lessons. So an old hippie, but of course this was 1972 when I first started taking them. So that's about all there was in the artsy district of Sarasota. But anyway, she got to pick out, for my birthday, she picked out the opal, rough piece of opal for me to cut. I didn't get to pick it out. She picked it out for me from a well-known rock shop that's still in business to this day. It's an amazing rock shop. It's where I really learned grassroots, all the basics of so much of my knowledge. And so she, and I can even picture what that piece of opal looked like. And I remember when she gave it to me, I think I cried. She cried. I remember the cost of it. It was my whole budget for my birthday, which was, now remember that we had 6 kids, both parents worked, and this is at this time, 1974. And it was $35. And that was considerable, but it bought to me, it was the fieriest, brightest opal I've ever seen. I remember when I cut that stone, it was like as if I was cutting the Cullinan diamond, the finest stone you can imagine. The care I took and the importance to it. And it cut a wonderful gem, and I was real proud of it and have it to this day. So, that being said, Mom, really, I thank her every day for introducing and encouraging a hobby. Because remember, again, for those that don't know, on a trip back from Cowee Valley in North Carolina, family vacation. Out of 6 kids, we went to the salted ruby mines there, and I thought I found $1 million ruby. It was big. It was 65 carats, and it was red. And so, as fate would have it, my mom looked up and found someone that taught stone cutting lessons, and the rest is history. So, every Mother's Day, I used to go to a gem and mineral show because I was by myself or had remarried at different times, and just to honor her, because there is one down here every Mother's Day, and it was always a great way to be able to honor what she gave me, which was a way to make a living out of a hobby that I enjoy every day. And remember, I said last week, I was not one of those rock hounds that, get a new rock every day or every week. Went into my Steve Martin routine. But no, like I said, if a quarter pound of something was awesome, then a pound of it would be better. And then, of course, over the years, I love my house. And if no one else did and thought it would be cluttered, that's fine. Because Raven and I live in that house for us. And we can't wait to walk in and feel the magical power. And I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why you're expanding your collections. You're going to expand to them today. We're going to do a special on opals. We have new items. I think every item of today's show, I have the list, can be a new item. But I want to get to some sale items as well. We have trivia. We have educational moments. We also have an addition to the our rock family. And it beats Mahali by way of a younger age member. We're going to give you a glimpse at our newest member here shortly. But let's get to the comments. Okay, so we have from Miss Jan. Miss Jan, hi Shawn, I hope everything is set for tomorrow. Writing this yesterday, I think, and I can wait to see what you will be presenting us this week. Maybe Axonite. Enjoy your weekend. Hugs from Blondie and me. I will tell you this on the Axonite. I went looking, started, didn't look everywhere, but I have started the Axonite hunt for that amazing big Axonite that I have on a top somewhere that I brought in, showed all of you, and that was the the end of that. But many, many places it could be. So, but other than that, Axonite, unless you wanted a little tiny stone, a rare, rare gem indeed. Then in another message, Miss Jan says, Shawn, I wanted to share with you this message. Today, Dennis would have been 63 years old. It's his birthday today. And as someone that's 63, Raven and I mentioned, I told her about that, and she said, wow, that's young. And yes, 63 is young. And I'm sure, Jan, you miss Dennis every day. Missing him watching your show without him is very sad. He loved your show and learned a lot. He learned to tumble gemstones and did it so well. Being a truck driver, as he was for over 30 years, never thought about rocks the way he learned from you. Maybe he's watching from heaven. It's love. And I have no doubt, just as I was talking about my mom and her influence, I have no doubt that he's watching over and influencing you still in his and your passion for the earth sciences. Nothing like it. And if I was a truck driver, I tell you what, there'd be a lot of places I would have had to take a little bit of side road cuts or, any rest stop or whatever. I would have to get out and wander around. You never know what is on the ground. Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania says, hello, Rock family. Wow, what a show. Got hand cramps from writing all the notes. LOL, so interesting. Love it. Sending Penny healing thoughts for her new hip. We, the hubby, are having our own up close and personal experience with yttrium 90 with a half-life of 2.67 days. Wow. That's a short half-life. For anyone as to what that is, of course, many of these different isotopes are used for cancer and medical uses. And so they some of them only last so long. So a half-life is if you have 1 gram of yttrium-90 in 2.67 days later, you will only have half of that weight. 2.60 more 7 days, only half of that weight. So it is, when you start halving a half, it goes away real fast. So your discussion was very enlightening and led me to look up the yttrium-90 half-life. All is going well and stable at this point. I am happy to report. Yes, Miss Cindy, it makes us all want to hold you in our arms and say prayers for the two of you regarding, it sounds like you are having some medical struggles. And it is quite interesting how appropriate my discussion was regarding radiation and how many people it can really relate to that didn't realize they can really relate to it. So anytime you have a friend, neighbor, yourself, a loved one going through radiation treatments, yeah, that should say everything to you how appropriate lessons about radiation really are. Glad to hear that it's going well, Miss Cindy. Trivia. Okay, so the trivia questions were, name the 3 types of axonite discussed, which was, you had axonite-Fe or ferroaxonite-Mn or manganoaxonite or -Mg magnesio-axonite. So the iron, manganese, and magnesium are the 3 types. Name the 3 types of radioactivity discussed, alpha, beta, and gamma. And so those were the answers. And axonite, especially that stone last week, I was able to, if you could follow along, that's why I said it'd help you to read about axonite now after having seen one. And so through the way I presented it, if you probably watched it a second time around, you'd get more out of it and understand and be able to see how particular axonites can have all 3 different type of elements, just like garnets. So remember, the Molly garnet is a mixture of 3 different types of garnet. A lot of the Malaya garnets are mixtures of 3 types of garnet. And so axonite is one of those gems that can blend together. So there we go. Miss Barbara in Brooklyn says, hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Super educational show. Professor and right on time. Wow, look at the magic of the show. Little did I know how perfectly timed it would be. So let's see what Barbara says. Xandrite is the trademark name for doped glass, which imitates Turkish color change diaspora. Yes, you are correct, Barbara, that is the word for that fake stuff. And I mentioned the 2 names, marketing names for the real thing, and I don't like to promote any of that stuff. But yes, everyone does need to know that there is a exact, very effective color change synthetic that they make type glass. I was offered that by a tourist sellers in Ephesus. JTV bought the rights, but no longer makes the kiwi rose color combo. It's cheap and there's a lot out there. So buy your diaspora from reputable dealers. The color change concept went on to be used for those eyeglasses that auto darken when you go into the sun. Cool. I got your educational sapphire, and the effect in the suspension box is amazing. Isn't it though? So much face-up color from a tiny dot at the culet. Thank you. I know. I'll never come across another one like that, Miss Barbara. I have used that stone for decades. I used it in my jewelry store that I had for over 10 years, very successful jewelry store. And when people see something like that, and I can discuss the importance of not only sometimes buying gems loose, which certainly would prove a point there, uh, and also the importance of cutting and the importance of zoning. And there's a whole set of educational tools. Miss Barbara, that stone you could take to one of your meetings, to your alumni class for GIA or GIA class, whatever, and it would spellbind everybody, especially because it's a native cut. That sapphire, the culet skewed, everything is wrong about it except the placement of that blue color. Even with the off-center culet, that blue radiated throughout that stone, making it an amazingly valuable color, and all from just a little place. It also tells you that it wasn't doctored like so many other stones. So it's an old stone, and there's a lot to learn from looking inside it. So now, thank you, because I had this stone for a long time and used it for many other purposes and lessons, and could have continued on here using it. But I wanted to share it with, and just want to know where it wound up to. So special stone. Thanks for letting me know where it went. A bench jeweler friend who also flips stones out of his tweezers called the search process carpet mining. Very appropriate indeed. And we different people have called that many different names for when you're down on your hands and knees looking for something. And normally it's not quite as polite as carpet mining. I knew granite was our source of radon up here in the Northeast, but never dreamed that clay and the weathering product, as a weathering product of feldspar, which is a major component of granite, would also yield radon. That was a real aha moment. Exactly. That is a real aha moment, because there is a lot of the decomposition of those materials. And when you think that the age of the Appalachian Mountains and the southern sections, is very old. So you have a lot of weathering, and a lot of thousands of feet of mountain height went somewhere. And so you can, it's definitely something to watch for radon in the house. But like they said, it has a very short half-life, but that also translates to a very powerful radioactive signature. As to the trivia, there's ferro, iron, magnesium, and manganese axonite. Double refraction and lower RI would also separate them from garnet. The three types of radiation discussed were alpha, beta, and gamma. We worry a lot about what might hurt us in the ground, but they are energetic particles traversing the universe which pass through our planet and us like a hot knife through butter, which we can do nothing about. So be prudent about the things we can control, and as for the rest, hope for the best. Yeah, there is all these particles that truly are zipping around the whole universe at incredible speeds, and we are still discovering some of these particles as science progresses forward. So, good answer to that one. And as far as being able, yes, lower, double refraction and lower RI would be a way to determine from garnet, but again, it is a much more complicated way and expensive way to have that piece of equipment. So that's not always a luxury. So I also offer Shawn's cheapo way to how to determine a gemstone using a magnet and a blacklight And that's about it. No. Let's see. Miss Elisa says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven, GSN crew, and Rock family. Miss Penny, I am praying for you to have a quick recovery. Shawn, the axonite was beautiful and displayed its color change perfectly. Speaking of my favorite item of the show, axonite, my answers to the trivia questions are iron, manganese, and magnesium, and alpha, beta, and gamma. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, and have a great week, everyone. Miss Elisa. Miss Penny, haven't heard from her in a bit. Hello, Shawn, the lovely Raven, amazing GSN crew, and fellow rock hounds. Trivia, axonite, iron, manganese, and magnesium, alpha, beta, gamma. I hope everyone is well. Shawn, thank you for another great show. I tried to get a couple of items, but typically they were already gone. Mahali loved the chevron amethyst, and he was even more impressed when I told him it was from Africa. If you come across any more, especially in an obelisk, I'll gladly take it. I did get the North Carolina rhodolite as well as the lapis specimen. I also got the Madagascar sapphire trillion. The sapphire was a double win. It is my birthstone and my favorite cut. And on that stone, make sure you get out as much magnification as you can and look at the inclusions in that sapphire. It has some really very well-defined internal crystals of other minerals. And that's neat that it's your birthstone as well. I forgot to comment on Miss Gabby's tourmaline crystal. Although I strongly dislike green, that certainly is a funky specimen, perhaps one that I might have considered purchasing. Miss Jan, I sincerely hope that whatever is ailing you will get treated quickly and painlessly. Happy belated Mother's Day to all moms and grandmas. Have a great week and hope to see you next week. Penny and Mahali, welcome. Well done, everybody out there, on answering. A couple things before I forget. I wanted to comment from a comment Miss Gabby made a couple weeks ago about a specimen that I think it was a sectarian nodule that she had bought at a small rock shop in Helen, Georgia. And I was going to say, yes, I know the one well. I'm sure it was Zuzu's Petals, because I always liked that name. I always liked the movie that was from. It's just this tiny little, I mean, I want to say 10 by 8, but it's bigger than that. But it's a very small rock shop, but it's very, very perfectly quaint. And has some neat, interesting things in it. So I can understand you finding something in it. I always, and of course we know the lady, but we always buy something when we are in there, even though it's buying it. To me, at retail, it still support your local rock shop. All right, now, let me see. The other thing I wanted to say, okay, and this is going to bring up a picture we're going to show you in a moment. So, you know, when you travel or whatever, and someone always says, what can I get you while we're, out of the country or wherever they may go? And I always had the easiest and best answer for them. And it was always, bring me back a rock. And then I enhanced that when I was getting some rocks from like some unusual places and they wouldn't quite remember. I said, okay, bring me back a rock, take a picture of where you got it from, and write down, if you can, write down the exact location. Because I was winding up with these nondescript rocks that, I had little pieces of paper next to them if I could, and others I forgot, and I didn't want to do that. So I started adding that to it. So the love of rocks is and can be contagious. You just sometimes have to light that spark that often went out and never, started a flame from when little kids are 6, 7 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. Often many of us start off liking rocks, and then it fades away or it's not encouraged and that sort of thing. So we are ambassadors of rock hounding, Raven and I. So our neighbor, we have got her now, after she built her house, which was half of what we called Raven's garnet mine because there was a garnet schist deposit there that was amazing, and so when they bulldozed it, it kind of cut into her part. But when we showed her and later when we became friends and good friends, Raven did with her, and showed her exactly and all about it. Now we notice that her front steps on her house have all these rocks, and more are being added. And Raven told me, she goes, yeah, Robin goes and she'll collect rocks from around her yard that she sees that are interesting to her to move the story forward. Okay, so Robin and her daughter and her family and her new grandbaby, Rosalie, took a vacation and are on vacation as we speak in Italy. And it's one of those things that, what can we bring you back? So we told her the rock request story. And we said that, well, bring us back a rock and just take a picture of it. And so we know where it comes from. Well, let's show you a picture of our newest little rock pup who decided that she wanted to pick the rock. Now, this is a child. Oh, I was supposed to have it queued up. He's going to pull it up. I thought I had my timing just right. That's okay. So our little rock pup decided she wanted to do it. Now, this girl is not even 2 years old, but she is really smart. I mean, I'm quite amazed. So she wanted to be the one to find the rock. And of course, in always wanting to take a picture of that, well, here is that little darling. She has her little rock in her hands, as you can see, and sitting on some, it looks like a conglomerate of brecciated stone with concrete holding it all together. And you can't ask for something more darling than that. Thank you, sir. So, that will be kind of tough to beat for getting a rock pup younger than that to bring me back a rock from her travels. So, hats off to little Miss Rosalie, and I thank her as the newest member of the family and our youngest rock pup. We welcome her. And hopefully many years from now, she'll still have that passion and love of rocks, and mom and dad will have this great footage to show her just how young she was that she started, which is a lot younger than I started. So I will look forward to getting that found treasure of hers, if she's willing to give it up. Okay, so we have a winner. And that winner this week is the magic of it all. Oh, let me finish the story. So, yeah, that was just the beginning of it. Okay, so, you know me. I've been meaning to tell this other story for weeks, and every week I forget because, so I say, I just go off on all these tangents. All right, so, it was a couple weeks ago. I was tired after doing a show and just wanted to watch an old movie. So I came across, and all of you listening, I'm sure, can relate, at least most of you, if you're my age. It was Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. And of course, they were married, and their interaction was on screen was really just was electric. So I had never seen this movie before, and I'm quite surprised, but it was so perfect for a rock hound, and especially for what I have always been saying. The name of the movie is The Long, Long Trailer. And I am not going to be a spoiler, but the gist of it, without spoiling it, is everywhere she goes, Lucy goes, and they're traveling with this long trailer, she has to pick up a rock as a memory of that moment and wherever they were, so that they can carry that memory with them and have it forever in the future. Wow. It was so perfectly me and Miss Raven. But that, I say and recommend, watch that movie. Okay, winner this week is, as we show you, Miss Penny. Miss Penny, look what you have won. You and Mahali have now become the owners of, look at these, amazing, 9 very cool, well-cut, matched stones. And I actually may use this as a little bit lesson. Hopefully we'll have time here in a little bit to get to it. And it is using magnetism for assistance in identifying gemstones and confirmation of. All right, so let's put this away and I'll be right back and get started. Look at this. Now, I have not showcased a really nice epidote in a while, and this really is a nice epidote. So when you look at epidote crystals and you get this very attractive fan formation in the crystals that you see here, that makes for a great aesthetic look. And then you have also mixed in wonderful quartz crystals. Look at these quartz crystals. And there is hematite with them as well. Now, a lot of these always said Immaquil, Immaquil for the location. Well, they have in recent times narrowed it down to Jebel Masker for the location. And it is in the Immaquil mining district. Dave is giving us a great look at the sprays to these. And this is, again, really attractive. Remember, epidote is often seen as fine filaments in inclusion in quartz. Look at these crystals. This is where the back looks as great as the front, and in some ways maybe better. I don't think there is a back. Look at this. Look at these sprays. And what you're seeing here is hematite. So hematite coatings, and there's also red internal hematite. But you have a neat spray of quartz here intermingled with, look at that, even bow ties of epitote. And the transparency, really, really fine. Now, look at that. A lot of time could be spent investigating this one, so I'll leave it for you to do so because I have a great price. I'm going to feature a few of these, and this is one of the smaller ones. And also, I'm going to show it to you on another one. This one may have it as well, but there is little filaments, and I think Anthony talked one time. I sold him a flat of epidote, and I don't know if it's from this exact same location, but he commented about small, thin filaments of some type of crystal that he saw. Well, I'm going to show those to you and tell you what they are shortly on another specimen. But this specimen, for the size that it is and what it is, that is a world-class piece with the features of the quartz and the very nicely defined epidote sprays. And here is what makes it really world class. Again, I always want to have something that everybody can afford. $48 on that. Only $48 on that one. Okay, now let's go to another epidote. And this one is going to be item number 1178424. And now, this piece, and again, remember how I've talked to you about using how they wrap specimens up, which I think is absolutely very, very creative and very, very functional. Oh, maybe, did I give you the right item number? 1178424. Yep, 8424. Yep, that'd be right. So this is the way they wrap them. And so then you unwrap them by doing this. And again, like I said, that went along with a story of how they sold you a sheet of toilet paper outside the stalls, because that way the regular people wouldn't steal all the toilet paper. So anyway, that's another story for Thailand days. But this is Morocco, which I've been to as well. So I've traveled all over Morocco. These are where they come from, and that was an experience as well. The stories I could tell you about that trip. Okay, check this one out. This is, again, this is a world-class specimen. You have the stunning epidote sprays in this piece. And then look at these beautiful congregations, I'll call them, of quartz crystals. And as we come in closer, you're going to be able to see. Look at that. It's just lined up like that. Now, if you look in the description, you see a word called pistacite. That is one of the old original words for epidote in general. It is kind of used as a generic name for generic epidote, which comes from the word pistachio, for the color, of course. And that is what you're seeing in a lot of this other greenish type filler material. Now, as we explore this piece and look at it, you're going to see very large, look at these large, impressive sprays of epidote, some of them covering quartz crystals, and all of them a lot of them in bow tie fashion. Others are like saddle formation bow ties, and very, very desirable. Now, let's see. You can see how this goes on with quartz. There's hematite and there is bisylite. Now, the bisylite is what I wanted to feature and show you so you can recognize it. Now, bisylite belongs in the family along like of the actinolite, tremolite kind of series. If you kept going, you could get to asbestos. So that is why it looks as filamentous as it does. And I'll show you that in a minute. But first, look at what I've come across here. Look at these quartz crystals with the red hematite bases to them. Now, when we looked at them from here, you didn't really see that. But from here, you can see it's almost a phantom type look. Now, here's more of what I referenced as kind of the pistacite, the more generalized, massive type of epidote. You have a layer of quartz, it appears here, and then if we go in close, let me get out my handy dandy dusty, but let's look a little closer at areas, because I won't be able to see it until, wow, great job there, Dave, until we see it together, because I certainly can't see them with the naked eye. But when you see them, then you'll always know what to recognize them for. So what we're looking for is the bisylite. Wow, look at those quartz crystals. And it is not found on every specimen, not found at every epidote mine, in every different area. But it is found on some of these specimens. Looking at it close is always a lot of fun, because then you get to find neat other areas and look deeper into it. Like, look at that hematite right there in that. And I can get lost exploring it. I know it has it. We're going to look at those quartz. Look at those quartz right there. I don't even think we looked at those earlier. Wow. Okay. Well, this specimen has a lot to feature. And let me look right in there. There we go. And they're little fibers that will just go in any number of ways. Okay, so they're right there. And if I had a third hand, you can see them reflecting. Hold on. I'll point to the area, then you'll look for them. Let me get literally, here we are, and I'll point to the area right in here. So look in here as I turn this, and what you'll see, baby, is the light reflecting off those little tiny little fibrous areas. Well, that is bisylite. I will leave that for you to venture on further discovery. And let me show it in my hand so you can see the general size of this piece. It is a really fantastic piece. And again, could be cleaned up more if you wanted. But I tell you what, I don't know if it needs much more than anything. This piece only, guess what? $48. Only $48 on that jewel as well. Wow, that's a bargain. And then let me see, did I have one more? Okay, so moving up the price scale, I have this one that you should be able to see the bisylite in. It's the one I particularly notated. It is item number 1178324. And this would make a amazing cabinet quality specimen in a type of piece that you would think you would see more of them than you do. So again, wrapped up like it is, but that's okay. Look at this as we unwrap it together. Look at this. So, oh yeah, sorry about that. I scanned it and didn't tell you. 1178324. Yep, the big one. All right, check this out. Look at the size of this, and then look at how beautiful some of these, well, it's all quartz crystals, as you can see. And then that looks like little cauliflower heads of, or broccoli heads of epidote. Look at those. And then look at all the quartz crystals around this. This is a really remarkable specimen. And then look it down in there. Okay, so, wow, look at that cool pocket of quartz crystals, hidden epidotes. Look at the side over here where you have all these fans of crystals, and then look, tucked away, quartz, and then the bigger quartz crystals with hematite. And then again, moving up the cleft of the mountain here, look at these large, impressive epidotes, one laying over the top of the other. And then look at all this. You can see the red hematite within all these, a lot of these specimens. Look at that quartz right there. This is stunning. Look at that with the radial spray fanning out in all directions. And then as we, wow, look at, this is why this one is also just a world-class specimen for this location and material. All right, so look at this. So you have your quartz and hematite on the bed of pisticite, for lack of a better word, really, for it. You have then blended other quartz and hematite together. Look at this. Look at the druzy crystals. Here we go. I think right there. Let's look right there. I see a lot of reflections, and let's see what we can find in there. So a good, beautiful look. A good chance that we might find the elusive bacillite. There you can see it reflecting those little tiny fine fibers, those little fibrous crystals. So you want to be careful in cleaning these specimens. It's not like you could take a toothbrush to them. There you go. You see a whole lot of bacillite right here in these finer, thinner crystals. And then there's also a surprise with this piece, I think. Or maybe that's another, there's another piece I'm thinking of. Wait, let's look up here. There is a whole bunch of bacillite here as well. So if you look and see all those little reflective threads, they'll be white, they'll be yellowish. You can see them throughout. That is the elusive bacillite that you might have been wondering. I can actually see them with my eye. And again, once you get to looking at them, you can spot them. There's some right there. So anyway, look at the size of this in my hand, and then look at everything it has going on with it, with all those quartz crystals, and then with the very cool pocket there. It self-displays wonderfully, many different angles. That is a beautiful specimen, and I have it priced really reasonable for you at only $118. Only $118. All right, let me wrap those up, and I'll be right back. Okay, a special sale today as a January surprise, my birthstone. Look at these 3 stunning, you got to buy all 3. That's the only way you get the sale. Japanese iridescent rainbow garnets. And these have incredible crystalline shapes to them and fantastic iridescence to them. You look at that. Look at those colors. You have coppers, you have blues, violets, brass color. Look at that, even on the
the tweezer.
Crystal faces. Yeah, you don't like my fingers? I know. I'll fix them. But
Okay.
look at those. Look at that. Those are hard-working fingers from the bench. Look at the iridescence on those, and even look at the reflection in the mirror as well. Gives you another angle. And it is fascinating what actually creates the iridescence, which is a diffraction.
Light.
Yeah, it's actually light. Diffraction of light grading between 2 varieties of garnet. You have a very slightly different grossular in between the andradite garnet, and that diffraction of grading is just enough. Look at all the colors from so many different angles as I chase this one around. These, ever since 2005, have been inaccessible except what was already in the market. They were accessible from the time they were discovered for only about a little over a year before Tonkawa Village elders ran all the rockhounds out as they flooded in to get one of the most rarest and most, look at the layers right there, valuable garnets for the type that they are in the world. I mean, these are the finest. Look at that. And again, you just have to catch the light at the angles. If you go and look for these on the, look at that. You see that light? Those look at that. And you're going to find how expensive they are in the internet world. And then they will not be anywhere near the quality that you're getting to see right here. And again, I can't show you all the faces and angles, but that's part of the fun of having them to look at that. Maybe I can just sit here and enjoy doing that. That's certainly how I do it at home, and why it takes so long to do inventory. Okay, so sale price on the three, $98. $98. That is what, $32, $33 each. And if you do that as a weight, which I did have a weight here. Yeah, 12.82 world class, 12.82 carat total weight. So that is significant because I don't think I have really offered them for the ones that size. So of course, the larger the size, the rarer. So you have an average of over 4 carats each, and then a price per carat of a really low. So all right, now next, 117 8224. 117 8224. These come around every now and again. I'll run across one at the house and decide to offer them for sale. And in honor of, did I tell you? Oh, that was the third story I wanted to tell you that I missed telling you. I do have the picture. I was going to have it, but I don't have it loaded up for Asif. But everyone knows what a black bear looks like, right? Well, we had one of these, as Raven would call it, Teddy. Our back porch does not have any steps to it. The thing that holds it up are just 4 inch by 4 inch posts. This 250-pound black bear, we heard a little noise. Normally we think it's, Rocky, the raccoon, something like that. No, and amazingly, we didn't just open the door and walk out, which would be often the case because there's deer below and whatnot, because we would have stepped right into the lap of Teddy, this giant black bear that had made his way up that 4 by 4 inch post. I don't know how. All for some sunflower seeds. It's not like we were feeding them. No, for bird seed. And it was mostly just the shells. Well, this was a couple weeks ago before I had to shoot my show that I get up real early for. So it would have been on a Thursday morning. And I needed to get back to sleep. It was like 2 a.m. And I thought, wow, I'm going to stand here and watch this beautiful bear until he goes. So I know we're not supposed to, but had to do something, right? So I was able to hold the door in case something bad happened while Raven cracked it open, and we had some old grapes. We were going to feed Teddy, just what you're not supposed to do, right? Well, it wasn't so much as feeding him as an excuse to open the door. I wanted to see how he came off this porch, which we need to rebuild the porch anyway. This bear jumped up on that little 2x4 railing, all 4 feet, balanced on it, spun itself around like it was a ballerina, and went down that post as graceful as a monkey. And we looked and we said, wow, he made that look easy. And then we said, no, he's had a lot of practice that we just haven't seen. As our, bird feeders have been rated before, we thought attributed to Rocky, the raccoon. No, we think now Teddy has lots of experience in climbing up and down that 4 by 4 inch post. It was amazing. It was amazing. So,
That's how it looked?
Yeah, this is how he looked as he was looking up at me.
No. Watch it, TV.
That's great. Wow, that was great. How do you do that? You guys know how to do this stuff so quick. Asif just pulled up an amazing picture of a bear and in its attack want to eat you mode. That is great. And so that, as much as there it is. Yeah, we thought about that. We thought as much as we wanted to really go out there and pet Teddy, because it just looks so fluffy. See, I'm talking the way Raven is. She's just like, thinks everything's like a pet. There it is, right there. That was right on our back porch, and I would have the picture. I mean, literally, only separating us was this little, and we have a solid glass back porch door. Anyway, great going there. So you rock. That was great. That was great. Yeah, that I'm going to make sure that Raven sees that footage. Oh, that's a huge one. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, maybe I won't go in the woods as so much. Wow, what movie is that?
Oh, no.
Let's watch movies. Okay, my goodness. That looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrifying. No, I see the bear. Oh my goodness, look at that jump. Oh, I know. I was just going to say it had to be that kind. Yep. The bear hopped up. The hopped up bear. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to watch it now. I'm going to have to watch it now. I'm going to have to. I heard about it, but I hadn't watched it. All right, back to the Nephrite jade bear. That's not quite so ominous. Anyway, how about this guy? Only have the one for $36, and it is really high grade quality nephrite. As you can see, this is the good stuff. And so, you know, they say that if it's a black bear to
Not wrong.
not run up a tree because they can climb really well. Watching them climb up my 4x4-inch post, that huge thing, being able to do that, it's like, how does he do that? It tells me everything. And I always thought, oh, I can climb. No way would I ever try to out-climb a black bear. But they say grizzlies, yes. Grizzlies, you can climb a tree because they're too big, they can't climb trees. But black bears, no, forget it. You're dead. This bear, for $36, you can have it. Only one I have. And you got the story to go with it. Oh, maybe I do have one more. Oh, I do. 117-8624. 117-8624. I thought I had an Epidote for every budget. And what I showed you wasn't for every budget. This one, still coming from the same mine. An amazing, amazing piece. And look how good he looks, actually, if you had, look at that, those two together. Like that. This is a display. He looks like he's up, you know, against a tree in nature. That is neat. That is neat. All right, so look at these beautiful crystals, and there is byssolite on this one as well, and a beautiful display. Just a beautiful display in really any angle you want to showcase it. Wow. And here is also the real treat, $18. $18, and with an $18 price, that does make it where there is something for everybody. Price-wise, indeed. So from 18 to the 118, and every one of them a very good value. Now, let me show you next. Okay, so that's the rainbows. Now to this. Okay, I do. This doesn't. I'm not going to give you the item number on this yet, unless it doesn't. It may get sold to someone very prominent. That really is the master and quarter of the market for specialties. But if I don't sell it to him, then this is going to be available. So there's a reason to this. I want to show you. There is a lesson to go with this. Look at this specialty. This is one of the finest. And so, yes, this is still part of items you have never seen that Shawn has. And it's come time that I am down to selling off one of the most amazing gems. This is over 8 carats. It's a Nigerian spessartine. It is a stunning, stunning stone. But here is another one as well. And the reason I say this is this gem I have to recut. It has a corner that is chipped, and you'll be able to see it. There it is in the bottom right-hand corner there. Well, I am setting it in a well-known mounting here at Gem Shopping Network that was designed by the founder. And so anyway, before I can set it in that mounting, I have to fix that corner part. Now, here is the point I am making. This is a citrine. Here's a citrine. When you're talking about orange stones, there's not too many. And the ones that you can get confused with would be a Madeira citrine with a spessartine. If you're in the field, you don't have your refractometer, you don't have other equipment, there is a 100% way you can tell the difference. Remember, citrines, unless they are this color that I'm getting ready to show you right here. See that color, Crystal? That is a natural color citrine. That's the color, for the most part, Mother Nature. I just saw some phantoms in the edge of that. I had seen. Anyway, Mother Nature creates it in. It is through heating, which I'm actually going to do that. So you're going to see a before and after. I want to see just how purple that one goes. It will become amethyst. Now, to a magnet, citrine is inert. In other words, there is no response whatsoever with citrine. Okay, so there's no magnetic response. You know, if I turn the turntable off, you might believe me. I was wondering why it looked like it was moving. So you can see there's no response. Without exception, if it is a genuine spessartine garnet, which is, remember, a manganese garnet, manganese is a very magnetic element. Very magnetic. And the pickup response with an N52 magnet should be that, not a drag response. It should pick the gem up. Well, this triangle stone, I happen to know very well where it comes from. And so look at that. A complete pickup of the gem. This other stone, which of course I wanted to confirm the authenticity of what it was represented as quite some time ago, and I've confirmed that. But what I'm wanting to show all of you is just how accurate of a method, look at that, that using a magnet can be when you're in a buying environment that doesn't allow any other equipment but a few handheld items. You want a magnet to be one of them. There are no other synthetics. Orange sapphire only has a drag response, and often only if you float it. There is no other stones in that color range that would be genuine that have that. Even synthetics to create that color will not have that type of pickup response. So anyway, I wanted to show off that beautiful gem in the event it becomes for sale, but also doing it in a way that you got an education with it as well. This is one of the finest, cleanest spessartines I have ever seen, especially for the size. And you can see the difference in color between that one, a beautiful Nigerian one, which is this one, and this other, which, you know, both can be called Mandarin, This one, many others might think Mandarin, but when it comes to value, this one is by far the more expensive stone. So, just a quick lesson on that. Let me show you a parcel of diamonds. Item 1179824. And what I am showing you here is a group of stones that I removed from another item, and they range. Now, I'm not going, well, I could take them out. There we go. Thanks, Dave. Here we go. Now you can see them better. They range from 0.8 millimeters, 0.8 millimeters to 1.7 millimeters. Clarity, some are really, especially the small ones, are VS. The others, the worst are SI. Most of them are VS in clarity. 44 points total weight. They are matched by way of like the 0.8 millimeter ones. They're all exactly the same diameter, as are most of the 1.7. So there are two groups of stones. So for the most part, you do see some a little bit bigger and in between. But these small ones, these are the ones I was talking about weeks ago. They are actually full cut. They actually are done by a machine, because other than that, they are crazy tiny to have the same number of facets as a regular large American brilliant round. So here is a fantastic opportunity for either replacement stones or doing micro pave, which these smaller ones had been used for. So to give you an idea, 0.8 millimeters, it takes 3 of them to weigh 1 point in general. A 1 point diamond is 1.3 millimeters, so you can imagine 0.8 millimeters, just how small that is. But so many stones and rings, and pieces of jewelry are being made with these micro pave small diamonds that you have to carry them anymore to replace them or service them if you're a jeweler. Or to keep up with the designs and have them to where you can create something that people want, which often is with those little tiny diamonds. Anyway, here's a great gem parcel without having to buy a lot. Those little diamonds, actually the price goes up. The wholesale price of those, and I can actually say this because I know, is $500 a carat to buy those small stones. And so you can imagine that sounds like a lot, which it is a lot in general per carat, but think what it takes. So it's $5 a point. So if there's 3 stones to 1 point, that is only $1.70 per diamond. They had to mine that diamond. They had to sort it and separate it. They had to then grade it. They had to mount it, they had to put it through the machine, and then they had to pay everyone to do everything along the line. And in the end, they got $1.70 for that diamond. And that is at the wholesale market, not the secondary market. Like I'm getting ready to price these to you for. Okay, so you can save a whole lot of money going on by I know I have some of you out there that buy the diamonds because they never I seldom ever get them back. I seldom ever have them left after showing them. So this parcel was only $98. So okay, when you figure a half carat, so that's like basically $200 a carat. $200 a carat for those kind of goods. That's really, really inexpensive. The other way to look at it, $98 is 36 stones, so that's not even $3 a stone. And with the big ones, which are really nice and large in there, that's a lot of value in that respect. So, yeah, if you're one of the ones that have been buying the diamonds, get in on those. And because those little tiny ones, those are the ones that are difficult to come by. And when I get them, they are so difficult to remove that the time it takes me to remove them adds to the cost. So many times when you go to sell the gold on a piece, they often aren't even removed, which is kind of shameful. But you got to think about the amount of time it takes to punch them out or cut them out of a mounting. When you get cutting them out of the gold, you have the loss of the gold weight. Oftentimes, the amount of gold you grind away trying to get them out can be as much as value, especially with gold, what it is lately, as the stone is worth. So, anyway, just some interesting aspects when it comes to the thoughts of diamonds, carat weight, and what it takes to bring you those earth-mined diamonds. And there's nothing I would rather have than an earth-mined diamond. That is, well, you know what a purist I am, so that's where that comes from. You won't see me pushing any kind of lab-created anything. Okay, so now, here we go. Let's have an opal offering. And we're going to start with this one. Item 117-9624. 117-9624. And let's see. Oh, this. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me tell you a story about these. These are two freeform Lightning Ridge crystal opals, and they came out of a wire wrap piece, and you can see that by the little grooves around the edges. Well, they can either be recut, repolished, whatever you want to do if you're a cutter, or if bezel set. Look at these. I want to show you. This is some old stuff, old material here in the world of opal. And they have all the colors that you want. And they have that crystal look that, again, you just don't see in opal anymore. Look at that. With all those beautiful colors, look at the reds on the back of that. So you see this little rim cut around the edge right there. That is where a wire wrapper just runs a little wire right in that rim. And believe it or not, here's another lesson coming for you. That is how, when you see invisibly set diamonds, what you do not see is on the back side of at least two of the four, sometimes all four sides. And of course, remember, invisibly set so that you don't see any metal is always done with square stones or four-sided stones, depending on how they make the piece. And so what they do, they cut the grooves in the back side of the diamond, and then it snaps into basically metal, little metal frames, or when they are in that frame, they can push the metal into those grooves and lock it in place. A very tedious process, very difficult to service, and very easy to knock them out. But so that is on those. But with a wire wrapping, it's different. The wire is wrapped all the way around it, keeping it snug and secure. Okay, now back to these gems. These are old. The piece they came out of was old. The opal, I can tell you from being down in the opal mines in Lightning Ridge, they just don't come across nice, good silica like this anymore. It's so rare. When you have all the colors, you have a thick band of color as well. You have you know, a display of every color going. And again, same with this one. So they'd be easy to trim the rim off or cut them into any other shape if you want. I know we have several cutters out there. So take advantage of these because I am pricing them at a sale opportunity. Look at that. That you would never really get a chance to come across reasonably, not for this type of quality material. So I am going to offer these sale priced that should be minimum of, $150 a carat type material, but I am going to make them if they were 100 a carat, it would be a really good value. But how about this? Let's do this. One is a 2.83, the other's a 2.50 carat. So when you see that, you have to see the two different weights. So there's a total weight of 5.33 carats or so, which at 100 a carat would be $533. At 50 a carat would be what, $260, $70. How about this? $158, $30 a carat. Only $30 a carat for Lightning Ridge, the good stuff. The good stuff. And if you did nothing but hung on to those, for a long time until you knew what to do with them, or just to have to show off and to possess, nothing like opal. And that's what I like about it, is possessing it, and why I continue to collect it and love it. Let's look at this. Item number 1179724. Here is where we are doing that opal sale. And part of it is, again, to offer something for everybody. And look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Now, Koroit opal is an area in Queensland, Australia. And it is known for a particular type of boulder opal that has these kind of unique comma and curved shape patterns that you see like that. All those little type patterns you don't normally see in boulder opal, but in Koroit you do. So look at this one. It looks like a whale's tail, actually, of blue right there. And it actually goes through to the backside of it, which is pretty interesting. And I think that this is a magnificent stone. It looks like a tree. I see all kinds of interesting things actually in there. But here's the most interesting. I told you we're doing a sale. And that means that the two of these, and shouldn't do this because the guys are going to tease me about the price, how low my prices are. And not because how low they are, because that I sell items that are less than $10. And I seldom ever do that, but I just couldn't ask $10. But I could ask $8 for this. Only $8, and nope, there's not going to be another $8 one. That's going to be the only single digit opal there is. But again, something for everybody. And now that I actually see it in this light and color, I must be nuts for selling that for $8. Let's look at item 1179024. But that's what a sale price is about, huh? A sale means less than what you would normally pay. All right, take a look at this. Here's one you haven't seen either, and another beauty. Let me put these away one at a time, or I am going to be more confused than I usually am. Look at this. Okay, double-sided. In other words, it's cut and polished both sides. Look at those veins of color. Look at that. Wow. So Boulder opal is in, and Karoy opal is in ironstone. Ironstone is a type of matrix material that can contain up to 30% iron, and hence ironstone. Some areas actually mine it for the iron content. It's so high in it. Look at how attractive that is. That looks like a sparkly night sky. And that is really pretty. So anyway, again, not knowing any better, I am offering that one double-sided, $38. $38. That is an opal sale. Mixing it in with item 117, 9424. Here is an item I haven't offered in a while. And I thought I would showcase this one so that whoever gets it can use it if they want for a lesson stone, because, again, magnification is everything when it comes to gemstone. And you know how I have talked about how I was teased about the magazine I got every month that had a conclusion of the month fold out. Yeah, the centerfold was a picture of a mineral specimen, and it would have different inclusions, and it was called Inclusion of the Month. Well, I love to learn about what's inside a stone. And this, look at this. Look at that emerald. This emerald can tell you all kinds of things by those inclusions. It's a heck of a way to sell an included stone, isn't it? But it is. This is another lesson stone. And it is, if I didn't already know it, that it was from Zambia, I would know that it is from Zambia due to the inclusions in it. In other words, if you have an emerald and let's say it has a parasite inclusion, not a parasite, but a parasite inclusion, which remember from last week's show, see, everything ties together. I featured a specimen, a radioactive specimen that had parasite in it, and it was named after Muzo Mines, one of their first general managers, whose name was J.J. Paris. And he got a radioactive mineral named after him called parasite. Well, Colombian emeralds, if you see a parasite in it, a little crystal in it, well, automatically go no further, you know it's Colombian. There's a lot of other ways to be able to tell. Pyrite, Colombian. In Zambian, now, if it's perfectly clean, it gets more difficult. But when they have inclusions like this, enough of them, you can, by looking at it with magnification and recognizing crystal shapes and knowing what I know, I could confirm that yes, that is a Zambian origin stone. You can go online and you can look up inclusions from different emeralds and self-learn. You just have to have the specimens to make it easier. So you have them to compare to and a reference. This, how about this? You can get this emerald for only $22. Only $22. And I went online at my cheapy gemstone place and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. An emerald like this was $200 a carat. It would have been selling for like $150. It was like crazy how much they were asking for included emeralds. And I was like, wow, I'm really out of touch. But anyway, that's what my price is. Item 117, 9524 is next. 117, 9524. And let's go back to our opal sale. And now, look at this one. Look at this. This is a jewel. And it is, let me again put this away one at a time. All right. Well, look at that. Look at that. Double-sided. See what I mean? Look at the back side is really as pretty as the front. And I like the way that the center, everything all the design and swirls move towards the center. It seems this. Look at that. Look at that. That is just really attractive. It almost looks like it's alive. You know, like it has a heartbeat. Like those are veins with the color moving through them. I don't know. You know, all kinds of things. Yeah, maybe I've breathed a little too much rock dust over time, but there's nothing like opals. No two alike. Here we go. Talk about sale. $36. That what? $36 for that is a sale. Wow. Okay, I'll just stay with it. Item 117, 9224. 117, 9224. And wow, so much to do, so little time to do it in. We had a bad storm this morning at the house, lost power for a bit. I got in a little later, so if the show's a little shorter, that's going to be on me. And I apologize for it. I'm making up for it by deals. Deals, deals, deals. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the fireball in this. Now, this is a double-sided one as well. That play of color coming from kind of the same general area, even though it does. Look at that. So when you see the red like that in ironstone, it's a heavier concentration of hematite that you see. And that's pretty much what it will be. So a higher concentration of iron. Look at that play of color. Wow, look at that just go blue. Magical. I mean, that I used to love looking at kaleidoscopes. That beats a kaleidoscope. Maybe that's why I loved opals. Because the kaleidoscope came before the opals, and when I saw, look at the corner of that, how it's all blue right there, and I turned that, and look at that, red. It looks like the radar this morning. It went from all calm and blue to tornado warnings and watches and everything lit up. And then we had flood warning. So that's where the blue from. Yes, this is my weather predicting opal right there. And it predicts that it is going to be sold for only, well, it can't be that low. $18? $18. Well, I guess so. If that's what I said, $18. And the other one, I'm just trying, again, make sure I'm not mixing these up. Because sometimes I find my own pricing to be really, 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 really low. That spinel. I don't know if anybody got that spinel, but Miss Gabby, you need to get that spinel ring before it gets gone. Let's look at item. What is this? Oh, that's that. Okay, here we go. Item number 117, 9124. Let's take a look at what this brings us. And in its magic little case, we have, what do we have here? Another jewel. And let me put that away. And look at this. You know, I love Karoy opal. I love those patterns. Look at the bullseye pattern at the top of that. I mean, there's just nothing else like it. And double-sided. That is gorgeous. It really is. And really unique. And I am still so thrilled that here at Gem Shopping that I get to feature and show you things like this that may not get regularly used in jewelry, but you still get to see the items and learn about them because they are all related to other pieces we have, whether they're black opals or whatnot. It's all interconnected through Mother Earth. This piece, again, sale price. You're going to love it. $44 for a 6.3. That's $7 a carat. Item 117, 9324. I gotta pick it up. Cause this. Okay, I think it was. Oh, yep. Probably my big. Yep. Nope. You're right. You know, Asif has eyes all over him. Yes, he knew. He could tell from the other side of a wall, basically, that my microphone was not pointed straight up. I don't know how he knew that, but he was right. He could tell by the sound, the noise, whatever. I don't know. Amazing. Okay, this is something you never see me offer. And this is probably the only one you'll ever see me offer. Look at this. A big, I don't know whether it was Anthony or who it was, but someone said, I wish we would show some pearls. And of course, you know, I don't know whether often I have them or not until I see them or come across them. And so I came across this one. Now, this is actually a South Seas pearl. It's just a Baroque pearl. So it's a saltwater pearl. This actually, I disconnected it and cut it off of a estate item that was no longer usable as a piece of jewelry. So this is quite an older piece of an older pearl. And so that is probably 14 karat wire. I just left it in there because it could still be used and bent and around an item, or it also leaves you the place to be able to take it out and leave the drill hole there. So this is called a Baroque, and it's due to the shape that it is, and it's quite lovely, actually, and would make a great drop pearl pendant wire wrap. So many things you can do with it, and especially when I'm asking only $24 for it. You know, if that was part of a Baroque pearl South Sea necklace, especially being the size that you see it is, that would be quite the value. All right, now let's look at item. Number. Let me see. Oh yes, 117-8824. 117-8824. This next item is as rare as hen's teeth, and I actually, true story, nobody tell, had to take it off of the cocktail table right in front of where Raven sits. But I don't remember it being there. I think she took it from another spot that I had it to feature for everybody. She is like that. She is like a squirrel with a nut that hides it behind the bark of a tree and then later forgets where it was hid. So I guess if she puts it right out, she'll see it. This is too rare, and she just can't have it as a little bauble at the end of her feet. But that's the way our house is. She has literally a 1 foot long. That's just the seal, not the base. And I mean a kind of seal. Don't repeat that I did that. Carved in boulder opal. I kid you not. Now, it is not all fire and boulder opal, but it is certainly silicified boulder opal. And, and she carried it all the way back from Tucson. Item 117-8824. Actually, she made my business partner carry it all the way back for her. Both pieces. It was heavy. It was really funny. And so that sits right in front of her, and it's really a cool piece. I could never sell that over. But that's the kind of stuff we have. A 1 foot long, must weigh 20 pounds, boulder opal carved seal on a boulder opal base that's removable. Anyway, this brucite, lemon yellow brucite, this found was a relatively recent, newer discovery in Kila Sofila, depending on how you pronounce it. It's magnesium hydroxide, mostly found in a blue, non-crystalline variety, but this was discovered. They actually faceted stones out of it. You can see this pearlescent surface. That is actually the crystalline surface of it. This lemon yellow color, never discovered before. actually facets. It's like a hardest at 2.5, but it is facettable. I sold facettable stones. They are still of great value. And those stones now, the lemon yellow ones, can't be found. This can't be found. This is a very attractive piece. You see a little bit bicolor, a little bit more with just plain white back there. And what would look great as a display item with a faceted gem. So I'm going to lay that right down there as I give you the price. This is a fantastic opportunity. Only $118 on that. $118 and a real rarity. Item number 1175224, I believe. Here is something that, wow, I've seen a lot of this color being sold as actually copper bearing. It's from Mozambique. Always the potential, but nah, I don't believe it. I'm offering it as a regular copper color. Look at that. Look at that bicolor nature to it. And the neat thing about tourmaline, remember, is how dichroic it can be when you look at it from different angles. So you can get a whole variety of looks out of a gem like this. Here is that beautiful color. And when you have the crystals, remember, going lengthwise, it's really the most common shape that they will cut items like this. I am sale pricing this guy, and that means that you can pick it up for the I don't often know what I do with these prices, but it usually benefits you because then I go ahead and I make up something really inexpensive, which would be, how about this? How about this gem that you see right here? Let me put it lengthwise in the tweezers. Look at that for $38. $10 a carat. That'll teach me for not being able to see what I had priced it for. Okay, now, Next. As gotta show these. Big diamonds. Okay, item 1180024. 1180024. These are earth mined diamonds, as I like to now always put in my description, because the world now is full of lab-grown diamonds. And I do mean full of lab-grown diamonds. The only lab-grown diamond company that is a publicly traded company, its price has plummeted. Glad I didn't invest in it. So, it's fine with me. Give me an earth mine diamond any day. Anyway, look at what I have to show you. These are huge in the world of diamonds, and look at that. Those are 50-point total weight. And they deserve being taken out of their home because they are a fantastic match. Look at how white they are. So I have them as GH kind of color range. They are a really nice match. They are Si2 stones, meaning that you would... it'd be real difficult to find the inclusions without using it. Well, you couldn't see them with your eye. They make, in this quality, great side stones. Excuse all the other dirt around there, but we do sell minerals, not just gems. And maybe I'll just leave them on here. Maybe it'll be a little prettier. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, here's the other neat thing, the girdle. So that's the part that goes all the way around the stone, right? And so there's three things they can do with that portion of the stone. The most inexpensive, cheapest way is what they do is a frosted girdle. That means they don't polish it, they just round it. And let me get another pointer. So the girdle part is that little edge right between the top part of the stone and the bottom part. So it's called the girdle that goes around it. So they can just do what's called a frosted finish, Or they can take that and polish it, just polish it all the way around. But the hardest and most valuable way to do it is to facet it. And that is to cut little facets all the way around it, which if you added those up, it would add, another 100 facets to the facet count. But all along the edge on both of these is a faceted girdle. So two fantastic stones that would work for nice quality earrings, great side stones, or to have for a rainy day. Look how white those are. Those like disappear. So, okay, the discount on these is huge compared to what these would cost you. And others have confirmed just how inexpensive that my diamonds have been that I've offered them for. So, making these certainly a incredible sale price opportunity of only $278. $278. And you're talking about, here is my super white paper that I like to always make or bring. It's a true white. There's so many things that are not true white. And this is actually so white that you can actually tell the difference between the color of those two diamonds. One has a little more color than the other, and that's what it takes, is turning them on their side, viewing them through their side, because if you view them from above, the cut, see that brilliance? That brilliance will completely mask out the little subtle differences. Look at my bent tweezer. Subtle differences in color. So anyway, those are some fantastic stones, especially that size, that match, that make for that money. Now, with the little bit of time, let me see what we have next here. 117-1624 for you. Yes. Let's see what this brings us. And here is some fun. 3 very cool pieces of tangerine quartz. This is some really good stuff in the world of tangerine quartz. Look at those. Look at that. And this is a particularly cool habit. In other words, crystal formation where it's flat like that on one side. Look at that. Really, really pretty. So, if you want a neat addition to your quartz crystal collection, grab these. I'm going to sale price them and discount these, making them only now $28 for the 3 pieces. Only $28 for the 3. Okay, let's see. As the clock is quickly running out, though, there was oh, I want to show you real quickly here, just regarding the bisylite. Here is asbestos. So bisylite, tremolite, they kind of form in that family. So this is what it's going to kind of look like. These little thin threads like that on there. So look for that when you're looking in the bisylite on those epidote specimens. Oh, here, something real important. I promised to show you this years ago. And remember, okay, here, all the different crushed gemstones I've offered you before. Well, I may bring them back out because I told you how, and Asif remembers how we sold the world out of these gemstone paintings. And I don't know if they can even, if you could even get these made anymore. But just so you understood what this looked, this was a broken frame, a broken glass one from way back. So ignore that. But here is, look at this. What you're seeing in all this color is all done from crushed gemstones, including, look at this, you can see the sand, you can see the colors. So you have all these different colors. These are garnets, these are citrines, this is emerald, tourmaline. You can see all this amethyst inlaid. And so they just outline it with black drawing, whatever it's called, then they go ahead and they start, it's a whole complete method, and it's done with that a glue you can get at those hobby stores. But this is what I'm referencing when I talk about creating a gemstone painting yourself that you can do by just picking up material like this. You can separate the colors of the tourmaline. Tourmaline's a great one to use because of all the different colors that it comes in. So I wanted to feature that real quick. And this might be the last item I show, but it's a great collector item. Let's show you item 117-8924. 117-8924. Here are two pieces. Now, they're both New Mexico. This one is the special one. I'm not exactly sure of exactly where in New Mexico that is, but of course that's purple fluorite and beautiful in itself with the little crystals and other goodies involved. But this one is the neat specimen because it has everything you want. Look at the selenite, okay? Look at the selenite. Here's the druzy quartz. Look at the galena, okay? You can see the selenite or gypsum, however you want to call it. Look at this. Okay, now when you come over to the fluorite, the clear fluorite here will fluoresce an amazing blue. This fluoresces the clear fluorite's rare, remember. Clear fluorite, which is calcium fluoride, CaF2, in its natural state without having impurities is clear and white, but very rare. This fluoresces really cool. But look, here you go. Rare blue fluorite from one of the most famous mines in the world, known for its blue fluorite, which is the Blanchard mine in Socorro County, New Mexico. And this is this is so special. Look at the big galena crystal right in the middle of it. So this particular mine is known for its incredible, intense blue fluorite, which is one of the rare colors of fluorite. This has all the other trimmings that are expected to go with a Blanchard mine specimen. Those specimens are some of the most expensive in the world for blue fluorite and some of the most renowned. So if you want a Blanchard specimen without paying the big bucks, look at that big galena sitting right there. There's other galenas as well. I have this one and this one. They're traveling as a pair for sale for the price, ridiculous price opportunity of only $38. Yep. Believe it or not, only $38. That's all. Okay, and let's see if there is make sure I did not miss a educational part. There was, but I tell you what, we're going to wrap it up right here, and I will be right back with, did I show that? I didn't show that. I don't guess I did last week. No? Because I wanted to. All right, Dave reminded me because I wanted to show her. You're right, I didn't. I brought this in to show everybody what can be done if you have a casting machine and an oven. Any organic item can be burnt out and cast. This was a wolf spider, an actual, real, live wolf spider. Of course, he wasn't live at the time when I found him, and this is the back of him. And you spray him with hairspray, harden it up. Then, to get it to cast, you put it in a flask with the investment around it. You attach to the end of each leg, and then the investment poured around it. Then it is burned out in an oven. Anything organic, carbon-based, can be burned out without leaving any residue, and then molten silver centrifugally forced into it. So to make these legs, in other words, the metal has to go in here and then come backwards. See how it has to go in here and come backwards? If I did it, put these sprues on it. This allows the metal then to come forwards with the speed and viscosity of the molten gold. Now, then afterwards, you can clean it up, you can straighten out the legs. But here is the spooky, scary part. Look at how well it can actually duplicate a spider, a wolf spider, with all the little hair on it. You can even see the little roughness to the legs, which are the little hairs that are on a spider, and you can see its mandibles. And there you go. Doesn't look like much, but after you cast silver, this is the way it looks when it comes out. So all this gets cleaned up, it gets tumbled with some steel shock and comes out really cool. And I have sold these basically with that base, just as they are. I cut these sprues off, so then you have it sitting just on that center, a spider like that. I've done them in gold, I've done scorpions, and it's a real neat way to show you that what Mother Nature gives us, we can give back by just using nothing. You don't even have to kill anything to do it. Just using what we find, and then with the skills that a goldsmith has, can bring you a one-of-a-kind piece. And with that, thank you, Dave, for reminding me about that. That will be the last item to feature, showcase, and educate you on. We'll be back with the trivia. Okay, well, once again, happy Mother's Day, a day later than normal. But, you know, my story goes on from about my mom. She said Mother's Day needed to be more than just one day a year. And she was right. We should make sure we remember our moms, treat them better, more than one day a month. And they certainly, in most all cases, deserve that. Let's see. Okay, now I have a couple trivia questions for you, and I'm going to have another lots of other great stuff coming up for you in the shows to come. We're going to have to stop and do some sale pricing, so we can move some items. But I do have this to tell you. Last week, I even got a call from inventory regarding the what they call a sell-through. In other words, the percent of the number of items that sold versus the number of items shown. Everything sold from last show except one item. One item. So that's a pretty strong sell-through. If they could do that across all shows, it would be, a different place of business. But and the other really wonderful thing is that, 99% of the time that, or higher, that all of you love what you get. And I appreciate that. And, that means a lot. Let's see. So other than that, you can order from Gem Shopping 24/7. We are a 24/7, 364 days a year network. And if you wake up in the middle of the night and want to watch a show, even some of the archive shows, and you see some items you like, call in. They can tell you whether they're available. They can order them. They can put them in queue to be shipped out, So we're here for you. And I thank all of you for all of your support. And I am told, since I didn't do it for 7 years, that I'm supposed to say, not you're supposed to, I'm supposed to, like and subscribe. I think that's it. Thank you. All right, the trivia questions are, I made these kind of easy, so I hope you do well on them. What element makes spessartine magnetic? Okay, so we did the demonstration. What element in the spessartine gives it such a strong magnetic response? Second question, maybe a little harder, but we talked about this now in 2 shows. What radioactive mineral was named after an early manager of the Muzo Emerald Mine, which still is, I was reading, really the top producing emerald mine in the world. Has been going on for, 500 years. So what radioactive mineral was named after one of the early managers of the Muzo Mine, and when this crystal is seen in an emerald, it is 100% definitive that that emerald is from not just Colombia, but from the Muzo mine itself. And that's how, from with the research that they do and with pictures and cataloging of what minerals are found in what gemstones from what localities. So I showed you an emerald. You have never seen inclusions like I showed you in that emerald from a Colombian emerald. You've never seen them in a Brazilian emerald. So where from? Well, emeralds have been and are still being found. That Ethiopian emerald deposit, Pakistani emeralds are amazing. Afghani emeralds I've sold here. I've sold Pakistani emeralds here. So again, each one will have different minerals present in them that will tell the labs what down to even what mine they're from, not just what country, but often what mine they are from. So a lot of importance to that inclusion of the month that I paid such close attention to growing up. No wonder I didn't get any girlfriends or dates. I like rocks. And congratulations to our Rosalie, our new little rock pup. And I look forward to her bringing back the treasure she has found. Okay, so that is the question. What radioactive mineral was named after an early manager of the Muzo mine, and it is indicative of Colombian origin when it is present. And now, granted, you have to have magnification to be able to see these, but that one with the flogopite and ilmenite, if you know what they look like and you can use comparative images, I just can't imagine in the future what AI is going to do. I'm scared. There's going to be good sides, going to be bad sides, but there's still going to be nothing like the human eye. The human eye. Until only recently, in the colorometer or whatever they call it, that they came up with that measures color. The human eye could actually discern differences in color to a finer degree than any of the computer-generated applications that they used until recently. So, of course, that is always going to improve. And, you know, Raven and I were having a discussion this morning coming to work. Okay, they could probably actually have a robotic host. Sometimes I think they are. And, you know, go out there and give their AI speech, right? But one thing they will never be able to do, they already have automatic gem cutting machines. So they got that down. But they will never be able to replace the bench jeweler, the goldsmith, the one that actually has to, you know, set the diamonds, create the mill grain, flush set of stuff. Nope. Still, it takes a human. Thank goodness. All right. Thank you again, all of you, for your continued support. Do like and subscribe. Tell your friends and neighbors about the show if you like it. Remember, we give away great stuff in trivia. And I hope you enjoyed the opal sale on the new, and there wasn't that many other items. Get as many of them as you can. Let's have let's have a complete sell through, huh? Let's sell every item shown. That would be pretty cool. All right. God bless all of you, and I hope you're enjoying the spring. And I found someone to cut my yard, so I don't have to deal with doing that anymore. And that is my closing thought, because the healthier I can keep myself, the better chance it'll be that I'll be here every week and getting stronger and stronger, better and better. Reminds me of a Pink Panther movie. All right. God bless. Take care. And as Barbara always notices, when we are on time or off time, but we will See you Monday. Thanks.